Okay, everyone, welcome back to another Footy Consultancy podcast. Today we've got a special guest with us, Ellie Paris. How you doing, Ellie?
Hey guys, yeah, I'm doing really well, thank you, Sean. Absolutely loving the weather today, so let's go.
Great weather, and it marks a day where grassroots football's returned. I've been speaking to a few people at like Lambeth Tigers and stuff, and they've been buzzing. The kids are buzzing to get back. They got lots of friendlies prepared. How about you guys? How you been preparing?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously all of our group chats from all of our younger girls teams absolutely buzzing. You know, we've got training scheduled for Thursday night. And even my women's team, we're considered a grassroots team. So we're back training tomorrow night and everyone just can't wait to see each other. I think everyone's just excited for the social aspect as well as the football aspect. So it's just so nice to see everyone coming together and get excited to get stuck in. But I think what's really nice is I've seen a few conversations happen already. A lot of people are discussing how they want to make sure when all the kids come back and the players come back, they're going to keep it as sort of fun and light as possible. Because, you know, some of these kids probably haven't done any exercise maybe in 6 months. You know, we don't know the kind of level of fitness they're going to have. Even they might not have football equipment at home. So I think everyone's got to really keep an open mind to starting fresh again. Don't worry about what you've been focusing on before, pre-COVID. Doesn't really matter anymore. Everyone's starting from a clean slate. So just get out there and enjoy it.
No, I find it really interesting what you said, because, you know, when you look at the four corners and how we prepare sessions, and we look at it from, a lot of us look at it from the physical or technical corner, but you spoke about the importance of socializing. A lot of people have not seen their friends for months. And the psychological challenges of, you know, preparing your mind to get fit again. A lot of people have arranged friendlies straight away. You might not see the best of that person, and some coaches that you might come across are pretty close-minded. They'll be like, oh, he's not the same again, or she's not the same again. And it's important that coaches are very patient, parents are very patient with the children. And, you know, even with ourselves, you know, you're playing in the league that you're playing in, and it's being patient with yourself in terms of you've done so much preparation, and you might hit the ground running, but you might not. So it's just like, you know, you just got to go for it, and hopefully a couple of weeks, you know, you start seeing your best again.
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously with everyone doing different things over lockdown and being able to access equipment and stuff like that, I think give it maybe several weeks or so to then really sort of get going with the nitty gritty and the technical and the fitness elements of things, because I know my league has been sort of debunked, and a lot of leagues across the country have. So I think friendlies are being organised, but people need to sort of make sure they're not coming too thick and fast, like you said, because it could result in injury. You know, it will be a shock to the body for a lot of us. I mean, definitely me. When was the last time I did 90 minutes worth of exercise? I couldn't tell you. I mean, the odd 5Ks, you know, can only do so much. So, I think we just got to be patient. I mean, as a coach myself, I know I'm just going to aim to make it as fun as possible for the girls and stuff like that. But also want to make sure I'm giving them exactly what they need at the time. So I do worry that all these friendlies being arranged could cause, not injury really, but I just hope it doesn't affect players' mentality, because no one's going to be as sharp as they were, you know, before COVID. So I think coaches and players need to be patient and just sort of understand everyone is in the same boat. No one's been able to train and play in the last 3-4 months or so. So just be patient, give it several weeks, and once, you know, everyone's got that sort of regular schedule, regular playing time, that's when, you know, you can start upping your tempo with the training and getting the games in.
I mean, you're in a unique position, you know, so coming from a player and a coach's perspective, like, what have you learned from this lockdown, and how will it help you to prepare for the future in terms of how you prepare for coming in and out of a lockdown if it happens again?
Well, fingers crossed, touch wood, it doesn't happen again, and we're sort of coming to the light at the end of the tunnel. But what I've learned as a player is I've learned how important fitness is, not only for game related like importance, but mental health wise. Not that I've ever really struggled with mental health, luckily. I'm fairly quite a strong-minded and positive person, but the difference a little bit of exercise can do to your perspective and your sort of mental is just unbelievable. And I think a lot of people have learnt that over the few lockdowns that we have. So as a player, I'm definitely going to carry on going out on runs on top of my training and my playing, and make sure I give myself time to do that, because it's definitely made me obviously fitter, but also mentally a lot more energized, I suppose, more positive. As a coach, what have I learned? Oh, that's a difficult one. I think it's made me learn how different players can be, and how people can adapt to different situations. So obviously I'm used to coaching young girls sort of under the age of 11, and this is all new to them. And I think especially for the social side of things, I've seen them interacting with each other on Instagram and our group chats where we set different challenges, and how active they've been with the different Zoom sessions we've done. And it's made me realise how much young players depend on football. It's I didn't realise how big it was in their lives, how important it is to them. And seeing that for young girls is actually such a nice thing to see, because I feel like when I was their age, football was as important to me, but I didn't really have any other girls that I could talk to about it, if that makes sense.
No, I understand.
But yeah, I think it's definitely made me realise how much girls love the game. And for me, that's just given me even more sort of motivation to just better myself as a coach, and influence these young girls into the game, the beautiful game that we all love.
Yeah, and I found it the same, like coaching the young boys as well. I mean, they've never experienced anything like it, and the game's been going for so long, and a lot of them have kind of fallen out of football altogether, because some of them don't really see a future. And in terms of support, what for situations like this, what type of support would you like to see in the future for players and for clubs and for coaches going forward?
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, actually, Sean, because I bumped into a couple of girls I used to play with at Crystal Palace today in the park when I was having a little kick around. And they were talking about how they felt so much pressure being a young player, and the potential that they had, that they actually started to not enjoy it. And I think, God, I would hate that to happen for any players that I ever coach. I like to think I'm fairly knowledged in the technical and the tactical side of the game. But my main priority always as a coach in my training and match days with the girls is, did you enjoy it? As long as they enjoy it, I don't care how slowly they're developing. It doesn't matter how slowly they develop. As long as they are developing and they're enjoying it, that's all I want from them. But yeah, definitely as a young player, I think it's going to be so easy for us, as coaches, to want to get the best out of our players as soon as we get back. And I just think I want to make sure we're patient with it, and we let them ease into it, because as a player myself, I know it's going to take me a good few weeks to ease into it, and I need to be patient with myself and not get angry at myself. So yeah, as long as they're enjoying it, and they know, and I keep telling them that it's going to be difficult and they're not going to be as good as maybe they were a few months ago, then I think we can definitely progress from there, and they'll still enjoy it as much as they have been.
So they'll find a lot of comfort in that, knowing that the coach understands where they're at, and that they're on the journey together with them.
Absolutely, yeah.
About support from like the governing bodies like the FA, the PFA, and Kick It Out and so on, the Football Foundation, Premier League. Do you think they could have done a bit more to support? Is there anything that they could have done differently?
I'm not sure really, because I think with the whole of the COVID situation and all the lockdowns, no one knew how to deal with it really. So I think it could be a bit unfair to maybe judge how people have dealt with the situation. I mean, I don't know enough about what the FA provided and things like that over lockdown, but I think what matters the most is that a lot of people did come together because of it, and I think especially today, like seeing the massive buzz on like Instagram, Twitter, and all the social media platforms, I think it's only made people appreciate the sport more and appreciate all of the clubs and what everyone does for football. And to be honest, I don't think you can really fault that at all, as long as we have support moving forward, because like you say, it's going to be a completely new and bizarre situation for all of us when we get back coaching after this period of being out. I just think we've all just got to be there for each other and just take every day as it comes, really.
Yeah, I think they've been relying on the government pretty much to get information, and their information hasn't been that clear.
Yeah.
So with respect to that, I think the FA's guidelines have been really, really clear in terms of when we could come back, how many people could train, and the format of the game. And it's been pretty straightforward. They've done really, really well with that. And they've put on quite a few webinars for coaches and for players to keep them busy. And, it's a massive industry, and you would hate for football to fall apart, but you know that there's such a strong footballing family in England, and everyone's managed to be creative and, keep their love and attachment for the game. And now, hopefully we can go back into it and see it out right through to the Euros.
Yeah, 100%. I've got a good feeling we can win the Euros,
Yeah.
I know we say it every year about the Euros and the World Cup, but it feels different this time.
Yeah. It's just a matter of like, they've got the quality of player, it's a matter of England just turning up really and going for it and believing they're the best. I think you got somebody like Cristiano Ronaldo, who within himself believes he's the best player of all time, and he's got such a belief that it pushed his team, who are not the best team in the world, but to go and win the last Euros and to compete for the National League and Nations League, and even in the World Cup. So if you have, other players with that mindset, it can become infectious, and hopefully, it can be something that gives England the edge.
Yeah, definitely. And with all the raw young talent coming through, it makes it so exciting with all these new young players, and they're just obviously so hungry to play for the badge. And I'm looking forward to the Euros, definitely. And I think it's gonna bring together the nation even more. I mean, whenever there's a World Cup or a Euros on, everyone just comes together. Everyone supports the same team. And I think that's going to be even more so this year, considering the last 12 months. So, I think it can only go up from here. Obviously, everyone's just been interacting and sharing and networking over lockdown, and I think it only builds bigger and better relationships. And like myself and Lauren spoke about with the new Sky Sports and BBC deal for the women's especially, there's only more that can be done. So so buzzing that grassroots is back. I'm so happy for my young players, because obviously I empathise with them. I've not been able to play either, so I just know how excited they're going to be to come back. and get all of the enjoyment out of it and just see each other again. And that goes the same with all the teams across the country.
And I agree with you. And thank you for your time. And hopefully everybody will be back buzzing. Hopefully we can get a few special goals on your first day back, guys. So
I'm not going to promise anything. Yeah, no, best news, and yeah, definitely the light at the end of the tunnel, I think, Sean, and it's only gonna be up from here. So yeah, wicked.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, and we'll catch up another time.
We will. Nice one, Sean. Take care.
Yeah. Bye bye.
See you later.